The curls and the braces on the teeth, and the earrings, etc., etc. I mean, is it completely your own original conception of the way you dress, or have you borrowed it off someone else?
No, I mean, I just sort of get old things and that and just put them together, and then basically I just dress in bright colours, so I just do different things, you know, when my mood takes me. But the basic thing is just bright colours really, and just bits of junk and things like that, and just put it all together.
Now, before you actually joined, formed your own group, I mean, what sort of music were you following? Say 2 years ago, what sort of music were you following, if you were in fact following?
Well, I wasn't really following any music. I like lots of different sorts of music, though. I don't know, never followed it like that, though, really.
I mean, did you ever think that say, in 1975, that in 1977, you would be able to walk out on stage and send an entire club off their brains?
No, I didn't think like that.
Going all around the place?
I didn't really think of it like that, but I always wanted to sort of do, you know, be singing that and write songs, well, since I was about 15, so I thought I probably would do it, but I didn't, you know, I just think of it like that.
Vinyl community, hello, Steve, FlipSideCT, and I think this is number 130. And I have some video about the show I went to. This one was in Danbury, Connecticut. Again, a yearly event. Actually, I think it's twice a year. But a small venue, but you get vendors who come in from New York area, which is what makes it really good also. And had some fun. Saw VC folks, Brandon, Tom, I don't know if you were there, probably not, but that's what's great. I run into you know, some of the VC crowd, and it's just great. Again, we go off on this, we talk some, but we want to dig and then start looking, so we just go off and we run into each other going around the circle. So it's good times. Shows are wonderful. It's just so geek community. I spend about at least 4 hours at a show easily, and we're talking maybe 30 vendors. So it's just going slowly, about going through it maybe 3 or 4 times. You know, make sure you run through it 2-3 times. Go the other way. You never know what you've missed. And I did find a few things that I missed. So, not a big batch, but a cool batch. Very, very surprised to get a few albums here. And the prices were okay, were good. The first one, there was a fellow named Igor. Guess where he's from? I never saw him before, but he had this collection of vinyl from Russia. And I never owned a Russian-made album. Very hesitant, but he had, you know, Zeppelin, I want to say Hendrix, just like the original ones, and he also had the Beatles, and he had a bunch of these. And I said they were really cheap. I think it was like $7 for these, and I didn't want to risk and buy you know, many of them. I don't know if you could see it, but you know, it's all written in Russian. Some of the backing does show English, but mostly just Russian. I know you can't see it much, but it's outstanding. It sounds so good, and I'm kicking myself, of course, hindsight, that I should have bought more. I saw some guy pulling the Zeppelin, and I'm like, you know, does he know something I don't? But I didn't want to risk it, but hey, you know, that happens. Hopefully I could see him again and we'll have more, but like I said, I'm not too familiar with his albums, but when I listened to it, I thought, I played it with my wife, and she really heard a really good difference in that. Okay, this was admittingly a blind buy. I did do some research while I was there. The cover interested the hell out of me. I better take this out. well, this is the record. It's from Bullfrog, which is a German. Now they could call it krautrock. You can call it hard rock, blues rock, prog rock. It's a combination of everything. First of all, this is a Japanese painter, if you could see that image, Aoi Fujimoto. But anyway, pretty bizarre. Promo album. Lists 2 songs. The songs on here are at least 6 to 10 minutes long. Side 2 has 2 songs, 10 and 11 minutes. I gave a listen to it from my iPhone, and I said, yeah, this is good. I did a little research. I said, and I grabbed it, and came home, first thing I put on, and I was really pleased. Again, this is a band from Germany, 1973 to 1981. 3 of the guys are now deceased, unfortunately. They have been playing around, though, I guess, with a new band. Buzzing guitars, mystical sounding, proggy, kick-ass 70s organ, like that Deep Purple organ. And I just love that sound. I love, when bands bring that back, too. Putting this on with headphones really blew me out of the water. Especially there was the last song, Desert Man. Oh man, just so well done. The pieces were so well put together.
Settle now, I wanna tell you all the story of the desert man who spent nearly 1,000 years. One day I woke up lying in the sun, and that was all around me, even on my tongue. Thought it was a queen, yeah, never seen in my life before. The rain I see it nevermore. Now I am the dead. Together to the place where she came from.
So the vocals are gruff, yeah, like a Nazareth, McCafferty style. And this album didn't get a lot of love. The second one supposedly was a better production and got a little more attention, but this one didn't. And I recommend, if you're krautrock, prog rock, some hard rock, give this one a listen. I believe it's still out there. I don't know why it says free here, but Bullfrog. I know some of you in Europe know about this band, so hey, right away, tell me some information. Love to hear it. So the same guy, we were talking, and he was really a cool guy, really nice. Was willing to work with me and help me out. We were talking about Chris Robertson Brotherhood, and I bought this one. He told me I should get this one. It's an EP considered. What's the name of it? If you lived here, you'd be home now. Just enjoyable Chris Robinson Brotherhood music. Those of you who know it, know the style, know what I'm talking about. Again, Neil Castle is in here. I guess maybe $15 for that. Okay, so there was one guy was pushing the hell out of a Zappa collection he got, I think in the Bronx or Brooklyn, and he just had, oh man, he just had so many Zappa pieces. But I was looking, I said, well, you might have some other interesting ones. And one of them is a band I've been looking for. I just totally forgot about them because I said, there's no way I'm finding this band. And the band is Brainbox. And I hope some of you know about Brainbox. From Amsterdam, Holland. They were in that scene, that really hip scene. They made 2 albums in 69 and 72. This is a compilation. And blues, prog rock, you know, in the late 60s they were jamming and playing, you know, this sound. And I've posted some Dutch bands before. I know a few of you have also, and know how cool these bands are. So Brainbox is definitely one of them. And the guitarist went on to play with Focus. So Jan Ackerman. But they have a couple guitarists on here, drummers. I'm just so pleased I got this, and I'm glad I got a hits. So Brainbox.
Big town, you're trying to push me around. Buildings reaching up to the sky. People looking like they always cry.
Excellent pickup for me. Well, there's an album I've been searching for. I've been having it in my, you know, I kept on looking for it. I saw it maybe 3 or 4 times. Price, it was pretty high. And it's a punk album, if you want to call it punk. Again, I don't know. It's X-Ray Spex, Adolescence, Germ-Free. If anybody knows about the color versions, there's a red one, this is a yellow one. I think this is the first printing. This is it's an English pressing.
The name polystyrene. First of all, was your thought of the name, or was it given to you by a publicist, or what?
No, I mean, I thought of it, but it's just I was looking for a name in that, and I thought I'd use a name of something around today, you know, something plastic and synthetic. And I just looked in Yellow Pages, and then I saw it, so I don't know, got it
Really?
out there. Yeah.
So that's how the name of polystyrene finally was born, from the Yellow Pages in the phone book?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Right, now,
this also came with this 45, and I believe this is a pretty cool 45 to get. This Warrior and Woolworths, and highly inflammable. So her name is polystyrene, like plastic. Her real name was Marion Elliott. And at 15 years old, I did some looking up on her and reading, and she ran away from home, just went into the countryside. She wanted to see festivals and to live off the land. So, hey, 15 years old, in the mid-70s. Hanging out and saw the Pistols, got influenced, and wanted to form a band. She figured she could do it. Now she has a loud, you know, angry, very loud voice, and very, very unique style. And a lot of bands copied and took their style, but the guitar work, there's a saxophone on here. Now, there's always a question, you know, I don't like it when the saxophone is playing all off key and loud, and I like it when it's a little more subdued, a little more sane, but they have some songs with saxophone. Oh Bondage Up Yours was their 45, or it was a single release, not on this album. Basically, you know, just this, she was a feminist, and she really wanted to give it to the boys, and she really held her own. She was young. They actually asked, you know, for Bow Wow Wow, what she considered. She was, but she didn't have the sex appeal. So that's what Malcolm had said. It's very guitar driven, you know. It's about consumerism and not the angry anarchy or political side of things, but more about just angry of you know, genetic engineering, germ-free adolescence, plastic bag. The song Warrior in Woolworths was actually, she worked in Woolworths, so it was artificial, very unique. Those of you who know X-Ray Spex, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you who don't, if you're in the punk side, this is really excellent album to get. Polystyrene. And Hilly Crystal of CBGB's actually said they were his favorite English band, which was you know, a real high compliment, I would think. I would take and run with that one. But she wound up going into religion, I think Hare Krishna, and eventually, I want to say 2012, 2010, sadly, she did die of cancer. But she carries a legacy. This should be known by every person into punk. And lastly, there are but four small faces. Small Faces. You people know about this album. Just, you know, an excellent one to have. I'm not going to go too much into it. Hey, Steve Marriott, Lane, you know, the whole crew. You got to have some Small Faces in your collection. Still got a few more. That's it. I'm going to try to get my Houston showing, or I should say my tour that I took there. I didn't get much, I mentioned. I got another show that I recently went to, some online, but what else? It's getting cold. Been spending time blowing the leaves off my lawn, so I've been busy with that, but been seeing a lot of VC people, new members posting, trying to help them out and you know, get subscriptions and watch. That's it, VC. Okay. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose New Wave, I mean, to me, I just think New Wave or punk rock is just young people sort of getting up and doing something, creating something. That's the way I see it. I don't know, other people sort of put other labels on it and that, what it should be and things like that, but I don't think so. I think it's just young people doing what they want to do and expressing themselves in their own way.
Right. Now, has anyone ever had any musical influence on you before you joined your own group? I mean, were there any female singers that had any influence on you?
I mean, I don't know, because I'm influenced by everything, really. Everything that you listen to influences you a bit, so, you know, you can't really say. I don't say specifically one person has influenced me, though I like some people more than others.
How do you, what is your attitude to when, you know, like, especially the daily papers and the media refer to you as a bit of a rebel? Do you think you're a rebel in today's society?
I mean, yeah, I suppose I am a bit, really.
Yeah.